Hey there everyone, this is a quick video to walk you through your final major assignment, your personal action plan. So the goals of this assignment are to examine a particular health behavior that you would like to change. Now you can either focus on adding a health behavior into your life that you'd like to incorporate, such as healthier eating or regular physical activity, or removing a health behavior that you would like to get rid of, such as reducing substance use or limiting cell phone use or reducing use of pornography or something like that. Folks focus on all different kinds of things that impact their personal wellness. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create specific short and long-term plans for cultivating or reducing these specific habits. So you'll pick one area that feels most important to you. What's calling out to you right now? We've mostly wrapped up our course on health and wellness. We've covered a number of different areas. What stood out to you as being most important and or most doable this semester? And I want to remind you, as is with everything else in this course, that there is no judgment here. You can cover anything you want to cover, talk about anything you want to talk about, as long as it poses no risk to you or anyone else. Your assignments stay right here with me. So, as with most of your assignments, you have 3 different areas. Part 1 covers background info, and this is where you're just exploring your current habit or lack thereof. So you're going to describe what area of health you're focusing on, what health behavior you're looking at or would you like to implement, how is this currently affecting you, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. How is this behavior or lack thereof affecting your well-being? Really dive in here. And lastly, I want you to consider, how is it possibly benefiting you? Are there any ways that this behavior benefits you and encourages you to continue doing it? And this might seem like a strange question to ask. So if you're not eating nutritiously, you're not getting enough fruits and vegetables or healthy proteins in, how does that benefit you? Is it because it takes less time? Is it because it's easier and more convenient? You don't have to learn how to cook. If you are smoking marijuana or using some other substance more than you'd like to, what are you getting out of it? And the reason I ask you this is because it's important to understand your motivations for a specific behavior or lack thereof before you try to change it. Because whatever the need is that's underlying this behavior is still going to be there, and it's important that you try to address it in some other way. Let's say you're using substances more regularly than you'd like to as a method of dealing with stress or coping with difficult circumstances. Well, the stress is still going to be there, so what are you going to do to manage that stress if you're no longer using X substance? Now, part 2 is brainstorming. You're just going to kind of dig in a little bit here. Where would you like to be in 6 months? What would you like to add, change, implement in that time period? How could this positively impact your well-being? Again, we want to really get crystal clear on this future vision of what we want our life to look like. Now, if you've tried to change behavior in the past, what's come up? What's gotten in the way? And the reason we ask this is because those things that got in the way in the past are very likely to be the same things that get in the way in the future. So let's say you wanted to quit smoking marijuana, but all of your friends smoke every day, and you like your friends, and you want to have friends, and you want to spend time with them. So that's going to come up again. What can you do to navigate that in the future? What kind of barriers or steps do you need to put in place for that? And then what's the identity of the type of person who would complete this goal? You watched a video on Atomic Habits from week 1, and it talks about creating an identity of the person you are now and then acting out that identity. So if you would like to be a person who only uses substances 1 to 2 times a week, or who does some sort of physical activity every day, state that, write that down, and then you're going to list 5 possible action steps that this kind of person would take. From there, part 3, you're going to start with just one of those action steps. Now, keep in mind, you can certainly look back to the other action steps in the future and implement them, but research shows that instilling 1 to 2 new habits at a time is most beneficial for long-term behavior change. And you'll remember that we want to keep these tiny, so small, consistent, stackable steps, and SMART, specific, actionable, time-bound. Specifically, what are you going to do or not do? Then you're going to look at your list of barriers from part 2 and come up with a potential solution for every barrier you listed. How might you get around those in the future? Do you need any additional support? Friends, family, online resources, Counseling, what do you need? Where can you get this support? If you need help accessing it, let me know. And then lastly, how will you know when you're successful? What will success look like for you? So again, you get to focus on anything you want here. This is going to be in complete sentence, paragraph form, and I hope you really take the time to think about what it is you want to change and why it's particularly important to you as you work through this assignment.